It is April 26th, 1986. Beneath a cold, clear midnight sky, the Soviet city of Pripyat is completely quiet. Inside the apartment blocks, thousands of families and off-duty plant workers are asleep, resting up for the weekend. No one pays any mind to the massive nuclear power plant just down the road. But inside the plant's control room, the environment is entirely different. Engineers Leonid Toptunov and Alexander Akimov are tense, working through the final steps of a safety test that has been delayed for hours. The peace of the sleeping city relies entirely on the routine happening inside this room. But that routine is already breaking down. The trouble starts when the reactor's power level suddenly drops far below the safe operational threshold. Instead of aborting the test, the operators try to force the system to recover. They start bending standard safety protocols, pulling control rods out of the core to manually bring the power back up. The machine pushes back. Warning lights flash across the panels. Alarms ring out, signaling the system is dangerously unstable. Despite the flashing indicators, the operators push forward. At exactly 1:23 a.m., they initiate the final test sequence. The disaster was the mathematical result of human hubris systematically ignoring the machine's warnings. A violent power surge rips through the core. Someone hits the emergency shutdown button, trying to drive the control rods back in. But it's too late. A massive shockwave tears through the concrete and steel of the building, sending structural debris erupting into the night sky. Fatal flaws in the reactor's design caused the explosion to blast the facility wide open, leaving an exposed, jagged crater beside the exhaust chimney. From that crater, a glowing blue column of light shoots upward into the atmosphere. Out in the city, residents step onto their balconies to admire the strange, beautiful color. They are looking at Cherenkov radiation. This happens when highly charged particles travel through a medium, like air or water, faster than light can. It creates a blue glow that serves as the visual signature of a naked nuclear core vomiting lethal radiation into the sky. Human instinct draws us toward beautiful, unusual sights. Because of that instinct, these residents stand outside, unknowingly watching their own severe exposure. This map shows the invisible threat materializing. Highly radioactive particles are carried by the wind, expanding outward toward Pripyat. Authorities fail to grasp the danger. As the timeline advances, radioactive material completely engulfs the sleeping residential blocks. Once the reality of the contamination sets in, the response is chaotic. Fleets of buses are rushed into the zone to initiate a frantic, citywide evacuation. This is a desperate foot race against an undetectable enemy, a killer they cannot see, that they cannot hear, and cannot fight. As the buses arrive, officials tell the families to pack light. They are promised they can return to their homes in just a few days, but they never came back. In a matter of hours, a thriving modern Soviet metropolis was transformed into a decaying ghost city. Inside these buildings, the suddenness of the exit is obvious. Rusted freezers and abandoned storefronts sit empty. In the apartments above, toys, family photos, and half-eaten meals remain exactly where they were placed in 1986. Pripyat now functions as a massive, untouched crime scene. It preserves the exact day a civilization realized its technology had grown completely out of its control. Today, a massive exclusion zone surrounds the area. It is a hostile environment of dead, fallen trees, where invisible radiation levels still dictate exactly where life is allowed to exist. Most historical disasters are defined by their loud, violent beginnings: the crash, the collapse, the explosion. But Chernobyl is defined by its absolute, enduring silence. The 1986 safety test created a nightmare that remains actively unfinished to this day.